Presidency is one of the most important jobs in any country. You've got to make lots of decisions, get blamed for the outcomes of your decisions, and if you're lucky, you get to run for another term. Some heads of the state get incredibly compensated for their time in office. Hey, can't make the big decisions without making the big bucks after all. So here is the list of the 10 richest presidents in the world. Number 10. Sebastian Pinera, President of Chile. $2.4 billion. Apart from the fact that he is ruling a marvelous country, Sebastian Pinera, the President of Chile, has a fortune worth $2.4 billion. He is the owner of the local television channel Chile Vision. And maybe that helped him get elevated in 2010, or maybe it was his position at Chile's most popular football club, Colo-Colo, that brought him to everyone's attention. What we know for sure is that he is a visionary, since he is also the one responsible for the use of credit cards in Chile. And we also know that he owns 27% of LAN Airlines since 1994. When he first became president in 2010, Mr. Pinera became Chile's first conservative president since the end of military rule in 1990. The Harvard-trained economist displaced the country's first female president, Michelle Bachelet, promising to focus his attention to the country's economic growth. Born in 1949, he remains one of Chile's richest men, with an estimated personal fortune of roughly $2.4 billion. Much of his money was made in the 1980s when he introduced credit cards to Chile through his company Bancard. He also invested in Chile's biggest main airline, LAN Chile, the country's top football club, Colo-Colo, and a television channel. When he became president, however, he promised to sell off several holdings to avoid potential conflicts. What a guy! Number 9. Mohammed VI, King of Morocco. $2.5 billion. Mohammed VI is the perfect illustration of the saying, rich as a king. Owning $2.5 billion, the King of Morocco inherited his position as a leader in 1999 when his father died. Unfortunately, his people are not as happy as his bank account manager, since there have been a lot of problems in his country, such as corruption, riots, and a lot of broken promises. Yet, even if he won't be the king in the future, he will still be one of the richest people on the African continent, since he is a major shareholder of the ONA Group, which activates in different areas such as mining and retail. Number 8. Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, Emir of Qatar. $2.5 billion. How could you say that Qatar is one of the richest countries in the world if its president would not be an example? With a fortune of $2.5 billion, the Emir Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani rules in Qatar since 1995 when his father died. During his 18-year rule, Qatar's natural gas production reached 77 million tons, making Qatar the richest country in the world per capita, with the average income in the country $86,440 a year per person. Media sources claimed that Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani made a bid for Manchester United on 11th of February 2011. Quattree Holdings offered £1.6 billion to Malcolm Glazer, the American owner of the club. This follows a series of endeavors by the Emir and other Qataris into the world football community, following Qatar's successful bid for the 2022 World Cup and the Qatar Foundation's recent £125 million shirt deal with FC Barcelona. Number 7. Hans Adam II, Prince of Liechtenstein. $4 billion. The name of the Prince of Liechtenstein is almost as long as his income list. Johannes Hans Adam Ferdinand Alois Joseph Maria Marco di Aviano Pius von und zu Liechtenstein. Coming from a family that collects art pieces, he is also the owner of the LGT Banking Group. Since 2004, he transferred some of his state powers to his son Alois. His entire family's fortune values $7.6 billion, being considered one of the richest monarchical families of Europe. What an incredible fortune! Number 6. Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Amir of Dubai. $4 billion. Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum started to be the Emir of Dubai and the Prime Minister and Vice President of the United Arab Emirates on January of 2006. Raised in a family of 4 sons, he inherited those positions from his brother, Maktoum bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Not only that, some of his wives come from royal families, but also 4 of his daughters married with other sheiks, so his family's estimated net worth is about $44 billion. He is the major shareholder of Dubai Holding, and he has yet some of the biggest properties from his country, and also owns the world's second largest yacht with a whopping price tag of $400 million. Number 5. Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, President of the United Arab Emirates, $15 billion. If the Vice President of the United Arab Emirates is that rich, then the President of this country is even richer. Even though he passed away in May of 2022, we have still included him in this list because of his impressive fortune. Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan had a net worth of $15 billion. He started to rule the UAE when his father died, and he became the Amir of Abu Dhabi on November 3, 2004. Yet he was acting like a president since 1994. He owns Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, and his entire family's fortune is around $150 billion. In April 2016, Sheikh Khalifa was named in the Panama Papers by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists. He reportedly owned luxury properties in London worth more than $1.7 billion via shell companies that Mossack Fonseca set up and administers for him in the British Virgin Islands. Now, getting rich is one thing, but keeping your wealth is another. The ultra-rich sure know how to avoid those tax bills. Number 4. Abdullah Bin Abdullah Al Saud, King of Saudi Arabia, $18 billion. The King of Saudi Arabia occupies the 3rd place on the list of the richest monarchs of the world and 4th in our list. With a fortune of $18 billion, Abdullah bin Abdullah Al Saud is known for his charitable acts and for his permissive attitude and reforms regarding women's rights. Saudi Arabia controls over 18% of the world's oil, and of course, its king has something to say regarding this. Forbes said that Abdullah bin Abdullah Al Saud and his family were worth, in 2005, no less than $21 billion. Number 3. Hassanal Bolkiah, Sultan of Brunei, $20 billion. As small as Brunei, as rich is its Sultan, has a fortune of $20 billion and a lot of controversies around him. With such a worth, no wonder he is the owner of one of the world's largest and most expensive and rarest car collections. He divorced twice already and stripped his ex-wives of all of their royal titles. His family includes 7 daughters, 5 sons, and 10 grandchildren. According to GQ India, the Sultan has one of the largest collections of rare cars in the world. The collection includes an impressive gold-coated Rolls-Royce, photos of which have gone viral. The custom-made luxury car has an open top and a platform for an umbrella. According to GQ India, the car is coated in gold, from the grills to its tires. Hot Cars reported that the Sultan owns 600 Rolls-Royces, 450 Ferraris, and 380 Bentleys. His collection is worth over $5 billion according to the same website, and is comprised of more than 7,000 vehicles in total. Number 2. Vladimir Abdullah, King of Thailand, $30 billion. Thailand, not only that is one of the best places in the world to spend your holidays, but also is one of the richest presidents in the world. Vladimir Abdullah, the King of Thailand, has an estimated fortune of $30 billion. He rules this country since 1946 and is considered to be the world's longest-serving current head of state and the richest royal person. He has an entire bureau that manages his fortune, and he's the owner of many companies, such as the Siam Cement, the largest industrial conglomerate of Thailand, and he has almost 3,493 acres of lands in Bangkok. Number 1. Vladimir Putin, President of Russia, $40 billion. The current president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, is the world's richest president, having an estimated fortune of over $40 billion. In 2007, at the time of legislative election, he declared a very small fortune of only $150,000. Yet on that moment, he also owned 11 luxury yachts. This gave birth to some unconfirmed claims that he has a fortune of almost $70 billion, consisting in stakes of some big Russian companies like the oil company Surfutngas and the natural gas monopoly Gazprom. But right now, people guesstimate his net worth is around $40 billion. The claims about the Russian president's ridiculous amount of money keep doing the rounds due to his lifestyle that he leads. Putin is seen wearing luxury watches like Patek Philippe's perpetual calendar worth $60,000 and a $500,000 A. Lange & Son turbograph, according to Fortune. What do you think of these rulers and their wealth? Thanks for watching.